We get into conversation with Miller Matola, CEO of Millvest Advisory, the conveners of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, about the, shall we call it, the renewal of a strategic partnership with Brand South Africa. Miller, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside. Hi, Miller, can you hear us? Are you on the line? I think we have a technical glitch there. Good afternoon, Miller. Can you hear us? Hello, Miller. Welcome to The Upside. Thank you for your time. All right, I think we're still working on getting him on the line there. It's quite a significant moment, isn't it? Brand South Africa renewing its strategic alliance with the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. This will be taking place in August this year in KZN, positioning South Africa and the broader continent as an ideal investment destination. I would like to think that we've always been, as Africa, as a South Africa. Think other countries around the world, other continents, they consistently have been wanting to invest in Africa. And I think right now is prime.
Right now is the time. There's so many unexplored places. It's almost like you can't talk about tourism and investment separately nowadays.
No,
it's like it really is not in each soul separately, and that's why this conversation is so significant today.
Absolutely. Miller, do we have you on the line?
Hi, good day.
Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
Well, we're keeping well. Yourself?
We can't complain. We're just going to ask you to please either not put us on loudspeaker because that's feedback.
Is there echo?
It's a massive echo, yes. All right, let's try again. Let's talk about this Brand South Africa and TIFA strategic alliance. The significance of it, Miller, for those who are hearing it for the very first time. Yes, the role is to ensure that South Africa is positioned as an ideal investment opportunity and prime location. But let's talk about the significance of this renewal of strategic alliance with Brand South Africa with the Tourism Investment Forum Africa.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look, I think for us, this is really, once again, an endorsement of the importance of not only investment generally, but also tourism investment as far as economic growth is concerned for South Africa. And therefore, we really welcome the support received again from Brand SA. As you might know, they've been partners over the past 3 years, this being the third year.
Yeah.
And we value that support indeed.
Let's talk about which tourism sectors are showing the strongest investment appetite as you and I speak.
Yeah, look, essentially, at the sectors within the tourism industry, you have your accommodation sector, you have your amusement parks and theme parks, and then you have generally other sectors such as gaming, etc. But what is seeing the biggest interest, of course, is the area around hospitality, which is the accommodation sector. But a big sector that's also coming up is the tech sector, which is the technology sector. And in this respect, you are seeing a lot of interest there as far as not just the travel technologies are concerned, which facilitate bookings, distribution of products, but also fintech products which facilitate now payment solutions for the travel and tourism industry. So we're seeing a lot of interest and investment in those areas. So I would say in the same way as you're seeing kind of interest in the bricks and mortar sector, you are seeing more and more interest in non-bricks and mortar sectors like technology.
Well, what an exciting collaboration this is, a strategic alliance. You said it, it's now in its third year, and I would love for us to continue the conversation, Miller. We're still going to get our sports news and then our business update, but after that, I would love for us to continue the conversation to talk about the impact that it's going to have, the forum itself, on the ground at grassroots for the people of KwaZulu-Natal, where it will be hosted, and then South Africa at large. And so we'll continue that conversation with Miller Matola, the CEO of Millvest Advisory, the conveners of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, with a renewed strategic alliance with Brand SA. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue that conversation. For now, let's get the latest in sports news with Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you so much, Tebogo. Good afternoon once again from the sports desk. Now, Spain are determined to end a miserable past record against Germany when the two sides meet in the last four of the Women's Euros later on tonight, with midfield star, that is Alexia Putellas, setting her sights now on more history for the for the World Cup holders. So having won the World Cup in 2023 with Spain, Spain are now looking to add a first European Championship title and also confirm their status as a dominant side in international women's football. Now, while Spain has never been European champions, Germany have a record 8 continental crowns and were the leading force in the women's game in the first decade of the century. Now, Spain has never beaten Germany, notably losing when the teams met in the group stages of the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, as well as the last Euros in 2022. We'll stay with women's football news. Banyana head coach Dr. Desiree Ellis has paid a heartfelt tribute to her players after their spirited run at the 2024 CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations tournament, following a 2-1 semi-final defeat to Nigeria. Despite relinquishing their crown as continental champions, Ellis praised the bravery as well as the resilience of her side, who came into this clash battle-weary yet undeterred after a grilling 120-minute epic and a penalty shootout win against Senegal in the quarterfinals. So on Tuesday night, under the floodlights of Casablanca's Labri Zaule Stadium, South Africa went toe-to-toe with the record holders, the Super Falcons, but fell short in the process. Goals from Nigerian captain Rashidat Ajebade as well as Meshal Alozi sealed the win for the West Africans, with Linda Motlalo keeping Banyana in the fight with a well-taken penalty in the second half. Now, the defeat brought an end to Banyana's impressive 15-match unbeaten run in the Open era at WAFCON, every match under the watchful eye as well as the guiding hand of Ellis. Speaking at the post-match presser, Ellis says failing to finish off their chances cost them that match.
And today we almost got over that line. Today we were a team that had less recovery. We travelled and then had a match day -1, whereas Nigeria had an extra day. Today we were a team that didn't look like we played 120 minutes, so big is up to the conditioning coach there for getting them in the shape that they were. And the way when we moved the ball around, I thought it was pure joy. We had them chasing shadows, and like I say, I don't think we deserved to lose today, but we didn't take our chances.
On to athletics news now. The current world under-20 champion Bayanda Walaza won over the crowd in Rhein-Ruhr, Germany, with his power, speed and showmanship as he blitzed through the 100-meter final to claim gold at the FISU World University Games. It's a promise he made after arriving just last weekend on the back of a busy but rewarding running season. He added to the growing tally of medals for Team South Africa at this year's event, with his gold taking the number to 10 medals, with the relays still to come. Walaza, following his victory, says he relished being the fastest across his peers at the university level.
Truly, I would say it feels wonderful, to actually have one of these championships in my hand, because I can also say that I'm the fastest in all the universities in the world. So I'll say it's a great honor to be here, and it's a great honor to actually win this. It's actually going to bring my name up, and it's actually going to motivate me to even do more.
Onto this now. The world number 1 Yannick Sinner has reappointed fitness coach Umberto Ferrara, with whom he parted ways following the investigation into his positive test for a banned substance. Now, Ferrara, as well as physiotherapist Giacomo Naldi, left the Italian team in August of 2024, 5 months after he returned 2 positive tests for cluster ball. According to a statement from Sinner's team, Umberto has played an important role in Yannick Sinner's development to date, and his return reflects a renewed focus on the continuity as well as the performance at the highest level. The decision has been made in alignment with Yannick Sinner's management team as part of the ongoing preparations for the upcoming tournaments, including the Cincinnati Open as well as the US Open. Wimbledon champion Sinner was initially cleared of any wrongdoing by the independent tribunal just last August, but the World Anti-Doping Agency WADA appealed against the panel's ruling that he bore no fault or negligence. The 23-year-old ultimately accepted the 3-month ban in February of this year after reaching a settlement with WADA. Farara says he provided the spray to Naldi for personal use and warned him not to use it on Sinner. After the departures of Farara, as well as Naldi, Sinner appointed fitness coach Marco Panecci, as well as physiotherapist Ules Badio in September of last year. However, he parted ways with the pair shortly before this year's Wimbledon title. Still on tennis news, the great Venus Williams became the second oldest woman to win a WTA Tour level singles match by beating Peyton Stearns at the Washington, D.C. Open. Now, Williams overcame the world number 35 and fellow American Stearns, who is 22 years her junior, 6-3, 6-4 in the first round of this year's tournament. Now, Williams is the oldest woman to win a singles match on tour since Martina Navratilova at the age of 47 back in 2004. Now, 7-time singles Grand Slam winner Williams, who gained entry to this year's tournament via a wild card, has not played since March of 2024. Williams, who won 14 Grand Slams in the doubles alongside her sister Serena, last won a singles match in August of 2023. Although Williams never said she retired, she was listed by the WTA as inactive after 16 months out. It concludes your sports news this hour. I'm back with a final sports update on the upside in the third and final hour of the show. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Musibu Di Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. 9 to 12 midday, Central African Time. On the Move with Palisa Tau and Benjamin Mushatami.
Should influencers be expected to be impactful in society? If there is a social or societal conversation that goes up, should we be waiting eagerly to hear what the influencers have to say?
They are more than just entertainers. They are thought leaders to some certain degree. They influence culture, they influence people's thought processes, they set trends, they shape opinions of people. And the sad reality is, although a lot of them don't want to accept it, I think we're getting better with them realizing that embarking in that journey and in that space comes with a certain level of responsibility.
I see it differently in that, professionals are already good at their job, but there is an optionality that they might have to use the position that they hold in society to be able to deliver a message. This year you made the example of actors and actresses. So the same could apply to a sportsman. Just because someone's good at soccer doesn't mean that they have to have an influence over society from a specific standpoint.
Keeping you on the know and on the move.
África. Conhece o Ntivani?
Claro que sou eu.
Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma.
Eu amo música africana.
Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel Africa. Okay. Adivinha só, a Channel Africa quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel Africa está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
39 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Buntle Headbosch is standing by with business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thanks, Tebogo. Good afternoon. And our top business story at this hour. Nigeria's Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's plan for more than $21 billion in foreign borrowing to plug shortfalls in the country's 2025 budget. Senate Chair on Appropriations, Solomon Adeola, says that this approval now gives them all the sources of revenue they need. Tinubu asked Parliament to approve the borrowing in May. The money is earmarked for infrastructure, healthcare, education, security and housing. South Africa's JSE's All-Share Index has hit a new record, surpassing the 100,000 mark. The stock exchange's All-Share Index consists of 99% of the country's largest listed companies across all sectors. The rally on the JSE is in line with the higher global markets following the US and Japan trade deal. The local markets have also been cheering the appropriations bill vote expected in Parliament today. Chief Investment Officer at MP9 Asset Management, Ahish Singh, elaborates.
The JSE has just crossed 100,000 points for the first time in its history. What's driving this is a mix of strong commodity tailwinds and renewed local confidence. Mining stocks are leading the charge, with the precious metals and mining index doubling since December, with gold up 40% year on year and platinum also rallying. South Africa's reputation as a commodity-heavy market means global investors allocate here when metals run, and that's exactly what we're seeing.
South Africa's Director General of the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Mlungisi Cele, and CSIR CEO, Dr. Thulani Dlamini, will today host a delegation led by Germany's Minister Reem Alabali Radovan at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in the capital, Pretoria. The visit aims to strengthen collaboration on health innovation between the two countries. South Africa and Germany share a strategic partnership focused on building biomanufacturing skills and boosting local vaccine production in response to the health challenges exposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Michael Mbewe reports.
Support from partners like the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, the Germany Agency for International Cooperation, KfW, a development bank owned by the German government, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is crucial for advancing local health innovation and biomanufacturing and to meet the African Union's goal for local vaccine production that 60% of local needs be met locally by 2040. Dr. Cele will share South Africa's vision for advancing local health technologies, fostering South-to-South partnerships and leveraging Germany cooperation to accelerate the continent's journey towards self-reliance in vaccine manufacturing.
South Africa's Competition Commission has welcomed the approval of the proposed merger between the French media company Canal Plus and MultiChoice. The Competition Tribunal conditionally approved the over $1.7 billion deal yesterday that could significantly transform the local media landscape. The merger sets the stage for the combined group to take on the likes of global streaming giant Netflix and forms part of the French headquartered firm's expansion in Africa. Spokesperson for the Competition Commission, Siabulela Makunga, says the approval follows a recommendation made in May.
Of note is the commitments by the major parties to ensure that there will be no retrenchments for the period of 3 years post the merger, but also supplier development of over 3 years with focus on expenditure on local content and procurement for SMMEs as well as historically disadvantaged persons.
U.S. President Donald Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba have struck a trade deal that will include a 15% tariff on U.S. imports from Japan. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said the deal would include $550 billion of Japanese investments in the United States and improved market access into Japan for American goods, including automobiles, rice, and other agricultural products. Japanese autos, which account for more than a quarter of all the country's exports to the U.S., will also be subject to a 15% tariff, down from a punishing 27.5%. The U.S. has also agreed not to impose any caps on auto imports. Steel and aluminium, which are subject to a separate 50% tariff, were not included in the deal. And now for a look at the financial indicators at this hour. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,529 naira. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 43. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 34, and in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha and 3. Moving to the BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 rial 56, Russia 78 rubles 31, India it's 86 rupees 32, China 7 yuan 17, and South Africa $1 is trading at 17 rand and 59 cents. Much stronger today. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,428 and platinum at $1,467 per ounce, while Brent crude oil is at $68.08 a barrel. And those are your business news. For any business news stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I am Buntle Hetbush.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Zochitika ndi madaphiri kamlondola wa zochitika pena paliponse.
Nduna wazamalonda kumalawi waletsa kampani yopanga shuga ya Ilovo yomwe ndi nthambi ya Ilovo Sugar Group Limited kuti isiye kutumiza shuga kumaiko akunja. Malingana ndi nduna ya zamalonda Vitumbuko Mumba, izi zithandiza kuti shuga yemwe yakusowa pamsika azipezeka. Ndiye pano ndili ndi George Muhangu amene ali mu mzinda wa Blantyre mu dziko la Malawi. Chimene chikupangitsa kuti shuga azisowa ndi chani?
Chomwe chikupangitsa kuti shuga azisowa ndichonena kuti panopo ili ngati off season ya makampani a Ilovo Sugar Malawi, kunena kuti sakutha kupanga shugayi okwanira chifukwa akukolola. Ndiye akamaliza kukolola pameneno atayambe nosomano kugaya shugayi kuti azipezeka. Chinanso ndichonena kuti ma distributors amene akumakagula shuga kaya ndi ku Ilovo kaya ndi kusalima shuga akumagulisa kumaiko akunja ngati Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Mozambique.
Zochitika ndi madaphiri lolemba mpaka lachisanu pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo pa Channel Africa.
The Upside, live and real.
It is 46 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. We get back into our conversation with Miller Matola, CEO of Millvest Advisory and convener of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, about the renewed strategic alliance between Brand South Africa and the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, or TIFA. Miller, let's get back into our conversation and perhaps further unpack for us what the theme is this year for the forum, and what conversations will be spearheaded to ensure that South Africa continues being the hub or an investment epicenter, if you will.
Thank you very much. The theme essentially this year revolves around enhancing community upliftment through tourism investment. And in that respect, we focus on infrastructure, but also other related sectors and services that contribute towards the development of tourism. So essentially, it's really around the theme hones in on upliftment of communities through tourism, ensuring inclusive economic growth through tourism.
I think it's really exciting, Miller, what we are seeing in terms of just the oneness of of tourism sectors. You know, we're not really seeing it just in one region. There's so many regions sort of pouring into each other, if I could put it that way. So let's talk about regional economic blocks. You know, what role do the regional economic blocks play in scaling cross-border tourism corridors?
Yeah, look, I think the continent being so big requires obviously regional cooperation, whether you're looking at the West African community or development, or you're looking at East Africa. But I think what's increasingly taking precedence is now the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which almost brings all the African countries into one single block, creating a significant market. And I think that is what will really drive tourism as well as trade and investment across the continent. We know most of the countries have now ratified the protocols on the CFTA, and we know that there's increasing movement in each of the countries now to start trading under those protocols. And tourism is trade in services, and I believe that this is going to significantly enhance not just the trade side of tourism, but also the investment side of tourism.
Let's take a quick breather. It is now almost 10 minutes to 3 p.m. Central African time, and we'll continue our conversation with Miller Matola, CEO of Millvest Advisory and convener of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, or TIFA.
Across the globe, every second, there's always a breaking story.
What we want to achieve is a healthy and vibrant economy which can ensure full employment to our people.
The government concurs with the views of the Black Economic Empowerment Council report that it is now necessary to make our policies on Black economic empowerment more explicit.
Last May, I asked constituencies at NEDLEC to discuss youth employment incentives. I'm pleased that discussions have been concluded and that agreement has been reached on key principles.
We are on an ambitious drive to industrialize, to attract investment, and to create more jobs for the youth of our country. They don't have jobs.
I've tried looking for a job for it's a year and a half now. The challenges were experience and the level of education which I have.
Channel Africa.
The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
It is 9 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's continue our conversation with Miller Matola, CEO of Millvest Advisory and convener of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. Miller, we understand that the city of uMhlathuze has been chosen this year to host the 2025 edition of the TIFA, the Expo. Why was this city chosen for this year's Expo?
The city of uMhlathuze, Richards Bay and that region were chosen largely because of some of the investment projects that are planned for the area. And as you know, the Tourism Investment Forum actually aims to profile and promote secondary as well as tertiary cities.
Yeah.
So rather than focus on the major centers of Durban, Cape Town, and Johannesburg, our intent strategically is to then focus on those cities that are usually not lesser known or lesser visited or are not usually considered as top of mind. And so that is the reason why we did. But largely also because of the projects that they have there, you would know that there is the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone in that area, which is aiming to attract significant investment across various sectors. But what is important is that those sectors will have an impact on tourism in terms of real estate development, the need to develop and enhance hospitality sectors, whether you're talking about restaurants or you're talking about hotels. It will have that ripple effect. And because of that, then you find extensions in terms of tourism development products that are coming up in Richards Bay, hotel developments, mixed-use residential estate, the development of the waterfront, and as well as the plans to build an international convention center. So for us, these projects presented, I think, an attractive opportunity to then profile and promote the city for investment purposes.
All right. So, I'm thinking, you've made some fun examples actually, and I wanted to extend on those because investment possibilities is such a broad, umbrella term. Tourism affects so many other industries, as you've mentioned some of them, but also, infrastructure, is affected, agriculture, the automobile sector, but particularly in this community, KwaZulu. Talk to us about the forum as we see it, the Tourism Investment Forum for 2025, and how the outcomes of this gathering is going to influence and impact investment in the examples that we've just made.
Great. So we look at it in terms of the short, medium, and long-term impacts. And I think for us, the immediate short-term impact is that by bringing the forum to the region or that part of the province, we immediately enlist the services of suppliers in the value chain, right? These are suppliers, whether of transportation, of videography services, of printing, all that work that will be done there, we do it in the region or in that area. But we'll also be bringing in SMEs who can showcase their products and services, but who may also be in need of access to capital. And so we'll have partners in the banking space, like your ABSA, as well as Netbank, who will be there to share, obviously, opportunities around trade financing, as well as payment solutions, all issues that are critical for SMEs. And then lastly, we also have a zone that will have, we call the sustainability village or zone, where we bring in the crafters and all the people from the local areas to showcase and sell their wares, be it whether things such as the leatherware or whatever it is that the local community produces there, we bring that for them to be able to showcase and to sell, and obviously probably develop the business opportunities in that forum. In the long term, the objective is obviously to draw and attract investors into the projects that I have mentioned that will be promoted at the forum, whether they are across real estate or they are in the hotel sector, transportation. There are plans, for instance, to move the current airport from where it is to a much more optimal location. So you will obviously have airport development companies that may be interested in that particular opportunity. So those are some of the long-term impacts of the forum, but I've sketched for you the kind of short to medium-term ones as well.
Yeah.
And Miller, how important is it to get investment from local businesses, African-based businesses, not just internationals feeding into the economy, which is great, fantastic, but also locals, local entrepreneurs, local corporations looking to grow the tourism sector of South Africa and Africa, but also inspire tourism within the continent itself for the locals. How important is that for you?
Well, it is very important for especially the TIFA, and that is why we call it the Tourism Investment Forum Africa, in the sense that we believe that there is a lot of capital in the continent, and especially now that the continent is opening up for cross-border trade, cross-border investment. There's a lot of opportunity for capital to move across borders and be plowed into projects that will uplift communities. And I think that is the ethos of the TIFA. So to your question, I think it is very, very important. And the focus for us is local in terms of domestically in South Africa, but also across the continent, because we believe investors are not only overseas investors, but there are a lot of local companies here in South Africa that can invest and are keen to invest in some of the projects that we promoted at the forum.
Well, this is very inspiring. As I'm listening to you speak about, I think particularly the investment part of things and how inclusive tourism is becoming year on year. I think the third edition of the Tourism Investment Forum is going to return with a bang. And we wish you all the best. We're very excited to be involved as Channel Africa, and yeah, best wishes for the desired outcome. I think for those that are all involved, particularly, whether they're at the bottom or the top of the food chain, we're all very excited. Thank you so much.
And
Thank you very much once again for helping to spread the message across the continent.
And Miller, just as a parting shot, give us the dates for this expo, and then how can people get involved?
Great. So the dates for the Tourism Investment Forum Africa are the 27th to the 29th of August 2025. On the first day, the 27th, we'll have site visits to, amongst others, sites such as the Richards Bay Industrial Zone, but also the sites such as the waterfront, which the city would like to develop, as well as sites for some of the real estate developments under contemplation. And the conference runs over the 28th and the 29th as a full forum with panel discussions, showcases of investment projects, as well as expert speakers.
Miller, well, we can't wait to be there as Channel Africa, and we can't wait for the whole African continent, especially those who are interested in the growth and the development of Africa, to be a part of this exciting forum. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon on The Upside.
Thank you very much for the time. Thank you.
The voice there of Miller Matola, CEO of Millvest Advisory and convener of the Tourism Investment Forum Africa. It will be taking place from the 27th to the 29th of August. That is the TIFA 2025. Africa, your time to shine is now. It is now, it is now, it is now.